Hey guys, we've got the Tulien banner on the global server, but more importantly, along with the Tulien banner, we've got a limited time global exclusive vision card. It's called like Leave It To Me, something like that. It's an overall pretty decent card. It seems pretty good, especially for something like Carton, maybe potentially Sky, depending on the race, etc., or future units. It is limited time. So I'm going to be going for the card. The card is a guarantee from the step up, so we're going to be doing that. As far as should you pull, it's really a decision you have to make for yourself. Tulien as a unit is not the greatest. Like, he's okay, but he is certainly not someone that I would recommend specifically chasing just for the unit himself. He is usable if you do get him. I would like to get, one copy during the step up just to have him. But he is actually not guaranteed from the step up. You'd have to go even further after the step up if you don't get him along the way. But the card seems nice. It is pretty expensive. It's $25,000 to get the card guaranteed. There is no other way to get the card, so it is just $25K or you don't get it. I can't say how important this card will be in the future, so if you decide to go for it and it turns out to be not that big of a deal, that's on you. If you turned out to skip it and then you regret that in a few months, again, it's just a decision you have to make for yourself. But I'm going to personally go for the card, so here we go. I would love to see some Tyvis along the way as off banners because my polls for Tyvis were trash. I got no Tyvis during my polls, so he would be a nice off banner. I would like to get one Tulien along the way as well, so that we can, run him in the Shard Dungeon, etc. But yeah, there's a few guaranteed random Neos along the way, but we don't have any guarantee of Tulien himself, other than his pity. If you go to the pity, the pity costs an extra 20,000. That's almost as much as the entire step up by itself. So I'm not really interested in going past the step up banner for a Tulien pity. So I'd really like to get him on banner if I could. Tulien's TMR, STMR, and vision card, his personal vision card, not the special one, are all pretty good as well. I talked about them in my news video, so you can watch that if you want to hear more thoughts on that. But they're useful. They're good tools to have in your toolbox. All right, so here's a red. So we're looking for Tulien or Tyvis. Outstanding. We got ourselves a Tulien, so that is great. So I will get his EX1 guaranteed from the step up. The step up does give you 50 of his shards not for free because you're paying for the step up, but along with the step up, we're getting 50 cards guaranteed, 50 VIP, and we've got the Shard Dungeon. So I can run him in the Shard Dungeon for 10 days, and there is a EX2 Tulien right there. We've got it. So we've got the EX2 Tulien after 10 days in the Shard Dungeon, plus VIP, plus the step up from the banner itself. So that's great. Now, of course, if I get more Tuliens, I can EX2 him right away, which would be even cooler. Not to mention, I could potentially get more copies of his STMR. His STMR, let's go ahead and show it real quick. It's a good axe. It's the best axe in the game, technically speaking. Two-handed, it's high attack power. It's got a bunch of killers. For Tulien himself, it gives a bunch of passives. The problem is it's an axe, and for one thing, most units can't even use axes. The ones that can use axes usually want to use something else instead. Tulien does bring an axe in peril, so if you're using Tulien on your team, obviously axes become really good. The problem is that means you're using Tulien on your team, and even though I am pulling for him, he is just not the greatest. He's got a lot of problems. His brakes are a little bit low. His damage is a little bit low. He doesn't really do anything else other than breaks and mediocre damage. But he does bring that axe in peril, and he does bring a 145% earth in peril, which is really, really nice. So if you're doing an earth team, Tulien is certainly going to be deserving of a slot. The problem is earth is really an unpopular element. We've had it a few times already in Clash of Wills, so it's probably not going to come back in the near future for Clash of Wills. As far as JP goes, there's no real Earth Dark Visions fights coming up. Like, there's one or two side bosses that are weak to Earth based on JP, but none of the final bosses are Earth weak. Then again, on global, the final bosses are usually any element you want, so maybe Earth Team someday will be worth it. I believe this is one of the guaranteed Neos, so this is likely an off banner. Oh my god. Complete and utter trash. So that is terrible. Mazurka, big sad face. Yep, so there's one of the guaranteed. It feels like the guarantees are usually like low quality. Not always, but it does feel pretty often. Like if you're getting a guaranteed Neo, it's usually going to be one of those like super duds like Coralie, Mazurka, Milo, etc. They like seem to have a higher rate on the guaranteed. Axstar trolls me all the time on the guaranteed. The pulls. I've pulled stupid Axstar on those 1/10 guaranteed tickets for Neos like it's Axstar every other time for me. I've got his EX3, but I'm not going to actually EX3 him because what is the point? Anyway, so overall, we got a Tulien, which is great. The rest of the pulls, I haven't really been talking about it because they've been completely forgettable. But I did get a Tulien, which was a big risk because he's not guaranteed. So I'm pretty happy about getting that Tulien, even though we might not get anything else worthwhile along the way. We got a double Neo here, so this is great. That's not great. You see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? These off-banner trash pulls, like the guaranteed Neo just has a really, really high rate of being a complete troll unit. Dark Fina and Saul, really? These are just no. Do not want. But we did get an extra red, so this one could potentially be Tulien again. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and Moogle a second of his STMR before sharding him, because if I'm going to use an Axe team, he would obviously want his own Axe, plus we would want a additional Axe for whoever you're doing it for. So if we, like, for example, gave, I don't know, Carton, equip Axe materia and the Axe or something, then you're going to want 2 copies. So I'm going to Moogle him before sharding him. So this is pretty good outcome so far. We got a double Tulien, there's the fragments, and plus the VIP. The VIP doesn't come for... I was just thinking, like, could I maybe use Tulien in this Dark Visions, but I actually can't at EX2 because, yeah, the 1 copy, the 50, plus the 50, plus the 30 login. I'm going to be 20... Oh! 4 days in the Shard Dungeon is 20 shards. I could get EX2 while Dark Visions is still available. I could, actually. Maybe it's an option? Yeah, I haven't actually gone back to Dark Anima since the first day it came out. I do plan to try to improve my Dark Anima team on this weekend, or during this weekend. So I'll consider maybe using Tulien on that team. He might not make it, I don't know, because Tulien is just overall not that great. But it'll be something to consider. I mean, this is a new unit for me, so this is fine, I guess, technically. They're my first time ever pulling them. They're not good at all. But their STMR is decent, and it gives me the option to Moogle the STMR. I'm not entirely sure who would really want their STMR, but that is my first copy, so even though it's a troll unit, it's a new unit, so I can't really be too upset about that. So overall, these pulls went pretty decently, I would guess. I got a new unit, I got 2 copies of Tulien, but more importantly, we got the Vision card, Leave Things to Me, which is a nice Vision card. I really would have liked to have seen Tyvis, but that was a long shot. That wasn't likely to happen, and it didn't. But it could have. And I do have one rare summon ticket for Tyvis. I've been using all my tickets on him, and if you watch my Tyvis pulls, you saw that I got like 7 off banners during his step up or during his pity pulls. No Tyvis. I used all my tickets during that week on Tyvis. I got another Neo Vision on his banner. It was another off banner. It was Ling, White Dragon Ling. Again with the off banners. So Tyvis is just off banner all day long for me. And it's a blue. Yeah, Tyvis does not like me at all. Tulien does, which is great. So thanks to Tulien. But Tyvis is, maybe. I always get excited when I see an upgrade. It could happen. It didn't happen. Oh well. Zorn and Thorn. Why are they not a tag chainer? They should really be a tag chainer. But they're not. Anyway. Yep, that was the poll. As far as the free polls go, I actually did all those this morning and got nothing. So they're not. I didn't record those. It was a dud. And then I don't have any EX tickets as well. Again, I've been using all these tickets in like the desperate hope to off banner more Tyvis because I just can't justify going deeper on the Tyvis banner after pity. Like I tried, I swung, I missed. So Tyvis is a miss. We got Tulien. Tulien's great. I mean, Tulien's not great. It's great that we got him. He's just overall not the greatest unit ever. But I've said it before. I'm more interested in like Clash of Wills stuff. This is all like Dark Vision stuff for the most part. Which I do try in Dark Visions, but not nearly as hard as I try in Clash of Wills. So Clash of Wills stuff is where it's all at for me. So I'll be probably pulling for whatever this month's Clash of Wills unit is when that comes out. But the Vision card was limited. I really didn't want to miss it. I didn't. I got it. 25k. Thankfully, we don't have to go any further for Tulien. We got 2 copies. That's going to give me his EX2 in a few days after login shards and shard dungeon, etc. Yeah, so there we go. If you pull for him, good luck. I hope you get him. The Vision card is certainly nice. If you skip it, that might be fine as well. There's a bunch of good Vision cards coming later as well. Like, for example, if you plan to chase Knights of Grandchild, that's a really good Vision card, too. Expensive, it's premium, it's going to cost way more than 25k. But, there's options. Don't sweat it too much if you don't want to go for this banner. It's totally up to you. But that's it. I will see you guys next time.